let me set the stage. It's 1993. Evander Holyfield was fighting Riddick Bowe at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas for the heavyweight title. Then, in the 7th round, chaos erupted.
And a parachute has just landed on the edge of the ring.
A man named James Miller, with a propeller strapped to his back, tried to land his parachute in the middle of the fight. But he got hung up in the lights and redefined rope-a-dope. Because of those lights, we never really found out if he could have made it into the ring.
But it got us thinking, would it have been possible for James Miller to have landed in the center of the ring? This is the science of the Fan Man.
To break down this ill-fated flight, we brought in the world's foremost authority on the original Fan Man, Jeff Gowen. Jeff is a professional pilot who has flown virtually everything that can be flown.
My day job is that I fly for a major airline as a captain on a 737. Pretty much I have flown about everything heavier than air.
Our test today is to determine whether or not the Fan Man could have landed in the ring. So outside the Sports Science Laboratory in the parking lot, we've constructed a mock boxing ring, built on ground level for safety. Jeff's challenge will be to navigate the ropes and stop inside this 18-foot ring.
Jeff, you are cleared for takeoff.
This is the hard part, making it just over the first set of ropes and before the next set of ropes, and stop.
What we've done is we've constructed this so that it actually has breakaway ropes. When Jeff comes parachuting in, he's going about 15 miles an hour. We want to make sure Jeff doesn't kill himself.
My odds of being able to pull this off are, it's going to be iffy, very iffy.
Riding shotgun for Jeff is fellow power paragliding enthusiast, Phil Russman. His helmet cam will document this crazy experiment. Both Phil and Jeff are flying powered paragliders just like the rig James Miller flew that night in Vegas.
The paramotor, as it's called, is a high-end two-stroke motor that spins at about 8,000 RPM, and the propeller spins at about 2,500 RPM. This is a 30-square-meter wing made of ripstop nylon. It's curved. For standard auto gas mixed with oil, it is a propulsion device,
cross-bracing, climb or descent, 28 horsepower, more efficient at slow speed, doesn't have a lubrication system, and accelerate upright and on many miles.
It's like a weed eater, a glorified weed eater.
Why didn't you just say that in the first place?
Just arc around and come in for some dry runs.
It's pretty smooth.
There's very light wind. It's good.
Sounds like it's ideal for a touchdown.
I think we should go for it on this one.
Without the lighting grid to hang him up, can Jeff stop inside the ropes?
Okay, this is good. This is good. Keep the power up. Keep the power up. Brakes. A lot of brake. Brake. Here it comes.
What happened on that?
Just a little bit too fast. You know, I slowed down, but just still had a little bit too much speed.
Coming in at almost 20 miles an hour, with the weight of the motor and fan to deal with, his momentum is simply too great to stop. If the original Fan Man had come into the ring with that speed, he would have bowled over the ropes and flipped right out of the ring. With a spinning propeller strapped to his back, it could have been disastrous.
If something were to happen, if you were to misjudge and that motor was continuing to run and he went into any of those people, it's going to be an ugly scene.
At full throttle, that prop is spinning 8 times faster than a deli meat slicer. and would do serious damage to flesh and bone. But the Fan Man never got to negotiate the ropes because he had another obstacle. James Miller's flight speed and angle of descent were both calculated perfectly to put him in the ring. The problem was the lighting grid. His 18-foot profile, from the top of his wing to the bottoms of his dangling feet, made it impossible for him to stay below the lights and above the crowd. There was approximately 25 feet of clearance between the floor of the arena and the truss of the lighting grid. And in order to stay above the crowd, Miller was forced to steer right into the lights.
The fact that there was truss hanging overhead that caught his parachute really saved somebody's life, if not his own.
But even without a lighting grid to navigate, stopping in the ring is nearly impossible. Jeff's attempted it 3 times, and he hasn't been close.
It's fast! No! Crap! Not fast! Oh!
This dangerous experiment requires Jeff to maintain enough speed to stay in the air, but also have a delicate touch on the brakes. He's got to get up and over the first ropes, kill his momentum, and drop quickly.
The biggest danger today would be pulling too much brakes and stalling before we got to the ring, stalling and dropping onto pavement. That's going to be very bad.
Translation? Jeff's gonna shatter bones and put his life in danger if he can't negotiate the balance between speed and touch. To make matters worse, the winds are becoming unpredictable, and Jeff's got only one more attempt to land in the ring.
Okay, here, coming in for the ring.
You're too low and too fast.
Coming up, our pilot makes a desperate attempt to succeed where the Fan Man failed.
A little bump there, little climb. That's not good.
Can he do it without plummeting from the sky? The final approach when Sports Science returns.
Looking a little bit fast.
And if nobody has been hurt,
Brakes,
it will be a near miracle.
brakes.